It's time for another David deep dive, and in this video we're going to be digging deeper into perhaps one of the most infamous Discord mods in David's community, and perhaps one of the most dangerous. Okay, this guy is got his fingers in a lot of very dark pies. He's got his hands involved in a few weird things going on behind the scenes on David's Discord, and he is definitely worthy of suspicion. And he's tried to lay low for a little bit, but time's up. All right, we're going to dig very deep into this alleged Discord mod today, and we're going to find out exactly what was going on behind the scenes when David put out the orders to delete everything, okay? But before we get to that, okay, if you haven't seen it already, I did do a full new breakdown of the David case. Basically, with all the new information that I had from this new paperwork that came out like a week or two ago, I did a new kind of documentary-style video just breaking down the David timeline, but like with all the new info that we knew about when the murder happened, when he was grooming her, and I feel like this is just a short video, it's 25 minutes, it just really helps you understand and follow and get up to date with like all the new updates we've had on this case over the last few weeks. So maybe if you're new, maybe if you don't know like all of the backstory and exactly how this played out, that video is definitely worth checking out. And you know, if you want to know about more weirdos getting exposed for their sordid relationships, I also dropped a doc yesterday on Russell Brand, so over on Influencers Exposed, so go check that out if you want. But in this video we're going to be digging deep into this fool, Xerx. All right, so this is someone that was deeply involved in running the David Discord. This is somebody that allegedly knew a little something about David and Celeste. He knew a little too much by the sounds of things. Basically, yeah, he's got a lot of questions to answer, okay? So this is the Justice for Celeste notion that's been set up. People are kind of digging. There's all these different timelines and notions and discords. Everybody is trying to find their way to the truth in this case, okay? And I think it's really good. It's really, really cool to see this whole community of online investigators researching this. Yes, we don't believe that we're responsible for justice for Celeste, but we're just trying to document all the information as a unit, as a fluid, you know, group of people that just want the truth. We just want to get to the bottom of this. We just want to see justice done. We want all the truth. We want all the evidence to be preserved. But they have over on the Justice for Celeste notion for davidcase.notion.site. Okay, they've got profiles and a lot of people who were around during this debacle. So this names him as Xerx, aka Zabian Neela. Social media was u/Xerxify on Reddit, or Xerxify on Instagram. He's believed to have lived in Canada, and he is one of David's most prolific Discord mods. The significance of him, he seemed to have knowledge of Celeste and David's illegal relationship. He told members on Discord not to say anything about the Celeste tattoo after her body was discovered and to act clueless. Told members to be offline and log out and keep quiet about the death of Celeste when it was first announced. So, he said, don't say anything about the tattoo or anything, act clueless. That's September the 13th, before the body was identified. Wow. At least publicly. That's dark. This is another message. Someone says, how do you know that Xerx wants you guys to stay quiet? They're acting Sophia asking. It said, oh, because he said it to us on staff chat that we have to be offline, log out from social media and enjoy from outside. Tay also seen it because I screen share in the chat, group chat. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of media and photos and videos all related to Xerx up in here, right? All related to Xerx. So we're going to see some of this, right? We're going to go through quite a lot of this as time goes on. But here's some background on his alleged involvement after the body was discovered in the back of the Tesla, okay? So this is a post that's going around on Reddit. It says Xerx and his Discord messages photos. So that's him allegedly when he got to meet David in the flesh. It says, this definitely deserves some attention in my opinion. Make sure you scroll through all of the photos I posted so you can see the Discord message screenshots. First photo is Xerx and David. The other photos are screenshots of the Discord messages. Excuse me, it's been a long day. Notice the date on the timestamps from the Discord post where Xerx is saying, don't say anything about the tattoo, act clueless, September the 13th, 2025. And they didn't identify the body found in David's trunk to be Celeste Rivas Hernandez until the 16th of September, 2025. Suspicious. Ooh, they're shouting me out. That's cool. It says, shout out to Zavgirl and her YouTube channel for putting this content out there. Below is the link to the video where I found these photos. Zavgirl Discord reaction to the news. The part where she's discussing the Xerx stuff is from the 10-minute mark into the video, all the way through the 17 mark minute mark. Shout out to Trapmore Ross for his content covering this case as well. I appreciate that. Thank you. RIP Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The post not alleging any wrongdoing or prior knowledge by anyone. I'm only pointing out a timeline I personally found concerning and worth discussing. Interpretations may vary. So shout out to Enochio quadruple one for this preservation of materials, and this was 4 months ago that this was saved, so this must have slipped me by at the time, right? So we already saw this about saying don't say anything about the tattoo at Clueless. This is the Sophia message, but now we're getting into some blurry screen capture taken on a phone type pictures that might well be damning. Okay, someone said I can't delete socials because effing Insta want me to wait 7 days. And Xerx said, log out and delete the app. Trust, it'll be so peaceful, I wish I could. Sophia said, nah, I'll deactivate. And then Random Valorant said, why are you listening to those people? Their only priority is David, not us. And then Sophia even said, for real. And then someone replied to Xerx, and they said, Xerx, trust it'll be peaceful. And they said, oh, how about when people continue to dox us? So the Discord mods are getting doxed for running defense for David, and they're scared. Okay, so Xerx replied in another chat. He said, us having all these socials are doing terrible on our mentals. Someone said, so what you're doing here is putting the blame on us for having social media in the first place. What? Oh, when it, and then something, there's actually a message missing here. When it something. And then someone said, and possibly kill her. I'm assuming what they said was when it was David that got into this situation, right? And then someone replied, and possibly kill her. And then Xerx replied when it said, they said that you to cover their, they said that you, probably they said that to you to cover their ass and pretend they care about us. And Xerx replied, no, Rob does care. I'm guessing he's talking about Robert Morganroth, about me at least. You're starting to be like Twitter Asian, jumping to conclusions. Now, I don't know if that is Neo the Asian or if that is Asian, the Discord mod who I spoke about in a previous video. But that's interesting, right? He's saying they said that to cover their ass and pretend to care about us. So no, Rob does care about me at least. You're starting to be like Twitter Asian. So that seems to suggest that Asian, I'm going to guess it's the Discord mod Asian, he was jumping to conclusions and saying David's team is basically going to sell us down the river. And it sounds like there's a murder that's been committed in this case, and they want us to help cover it up. That's what it looks like was happening, okay? Starting to be like Twitter Asian jumping to conclusion. That says, and possibly kill her and blame us for not knowing her identity. So they're actually all backbiting and backstabbing each other and basically saying they don't want no parts in this. Why are they putting the blame on us for having these social media things when it's David who created this big problem, all right? So from here, this is Xerx. He locked down the channel. He said, after further discussion, we've decided to lock down this channel again. Thank you for understanding. As for the people asking about the situation, a spokesperson for David has confirmed David is aware of the situation, and even though he's still on tour, he's cooperating with authorities. That turned out to be cap. Spreading a little cap, Xerx. All right? So it says, and that was posted before she was identified. Are you serious? Yes, it's serious. Serious. That was posted before she was identified with a tattoo. What the fuck? How did they know? How did they know about the tattoo? How did they know about the tattoo before the body was identified? Before TMZ and before the LAPD? How on earth did they know before Celeste's family? How? So people saying, I think this was so sad. The poor girl was murdered and left to rot. All these people could think about in the end was themselves. R.I.P. Celeste, she deserves better. Am I reading it right? He said not to say anything about her tattoo before she was officially identified. This Xerx guy really loves David. He's a loser. Probably butt buddies, right? They all seem very much into David and his painted nails. Damn, man. I got painted nails now. I got painted nails. It's not a David thing, but I just, you know what I'm saying? Nice lady wants to take you to get your nails done. You know what I mean? Them nail salons are actually fun. They're fun. But anyway, fuck David. I'm definitely not trying to run into David at the nail salon because he might catch a fade. But anyway, it says, I think on Reddit, he's on Reddit under the same name or someone posting as him. He's been trying to clear his name. So it says, so Rob is doing his job fixing things for David, and Rob and Xerx are so shady. Okay. So what was Rob's involvement? How did he know what was going on? Okay. It says, here's the full screenshot with the date that was posted. 29th of November, 2023. Got a pic with David. Interesting. Okay. Very, 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 very interesting. So Yeah, this is a bad look. How did they know that? Okay. And before we jump into some of the crazy things that Xerx has said since Celeste was identified as being the body that was in David's Tesla, let's just take a closer look at how close he was to David's circle, okay? So I've got here a very long document, okay, that includes a few kind of prime Discord messages between Xerx and other people in the server, including David and people that are actually close to him in real life. And this just goes to show just how close they were, okay? So Xerx, been going by Xerxify for quite some time on Discord, all right? Also has been known on there as AAD4K, and he's been present in David's Discord since late 2022, okay? So basically, people are talking. Someone says at Moji, Moji says, nah, we're cool, we're in Salt together. So this apparently is Xerx. Said, did you make this server? And Moji said, yes, I made it with David. And then someone else said, could you do me a favor? Said, bro isn't texting back and I want to know his thoughts on the mix. And Xerx says, oh, fire. He says, I've made like 2 servers with a really good, decent amount of members. And then he's saying, I like this server. I'm going to start acting in this. Everyone seems chill. So it sounds like somebody is trying to get hold of David in the Discord. And they're basically asking around. It's like, yo, does anyone know? Like, Moji, do you have direct contact with David? I want to see what he thinks of this mix. Okay. So then we get to August 2023, and he gets in direct contact with David via the Discord, right? So that's Xerx's other account. Says, David's not dropping anymore. He basically messaged David and said, David, just don't drop. And he said, okay. So that gets posted here, right? People say, no, real. I'm going to oil him now. Calm. No, David's not dropping anymore. W, brother. So basically, all right, David is having direct conversations with Xerx, and then Xerx dropping it in there. Dropping it in the chat to say, look, I'm having this private convo with David, like me and David locked in. So they end up meeting in November 2023. That's when Xerx posted this photo, and they're together. Got a full HD version of it for you there. All right, looking straight here, you can see everything that it says on his shirt. That's crazy. Okay. In December 2023, he posts another photo with David, and he tags Sophia. That makes me think, is Sophia there as well, or is he just letting Sophia know I met David? Okay. People saying good night chats. D4VD. Heard that one before. Now, during David's 2023 December live stream, okay, where we saw allegedly Celeste on the live stream with David talking about delete everything. Now, there were apparently 2. I don't know if the January one was the delete everything and the one in the studio was the one in December or vice versa. But basically, during that live stream, that's when Xerx apparently, all right, learns that David had a girlfriend, and these are deleted user comments. Says, I'm finna take David's girl. I'm a wifer up too. My 15th wife. I think I lost count, to be honest. And someone says, damn, David has a... sorry, that's someone else. So then Xerx replies, this is him finding out for the first time. Damn, David has a girlfriend. The deleted user says, yeah, W. Okay. So cut to January 2024, all right, Xerx became a constant source of behind-the-scenes photos for David. They link up, seemingly. Are they in person, or is he getting sent these? People saying, look at Robert Morganroth, not Robert Morganroth from the grand jury, not from the grand jury of David, Robert Morganroth. I said, as Sophia said, not active mods won't get paid. Tell him this. Someone said, okay, Cap, I don't get paid for it. People say my mods get $1 a month. And then Xerx posts this picture saying, look at Rob. It's Rob and David. LMAO. I wonder if that deleted user is Rob. Maybe. They're saying Rob Spice. So from here, all right, Xerx posts a TikTok of David surprising someone with a Valentine's gift. And this is where we get to the juicy stuff, because this was February the 15th, 2024. This is when Celeste went missing. This is right before the cops, the Hollywood, or not the Hollywood, was it Beverly Hills, or was it Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department came knocking on David's door to say, do you know this minor that's gone missing? She's 13. We're letting you know. All right. So he might have accidentally snitched on David to the fullest, and you got to give him credit for this, okay? So Xerx said, oh no, the Kanye shirt, and this was from one of David's seemingly official TikTok accounts at the time, but he wasn't so famous we didn't know, all right? And then he added another deleted user. So let's see this incriminating clip. We've seen this before.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. They actually did this?
Now look, don't know for sure if that's David. Well, no, that's David, but don't know for sure if that's Celeste talking. Can't really tell from the voice. Definitely can't eliminate it being her, but also I can't confirm that it's her.
My gosh. Oh my god.
Look at the tiny clothes, bro. These are kids' clothes. These look like kids' clothes. The fuck? Bunch of cash money. Like, what?
They think you actually did this?
This crazy. Just the way he's standing, just pissing me off, man. So Xerx documented this sordid moment, all right?
My.
Look at the tiny shoes as well. Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. They think you actually did this? My.
So I wonder who that is. Okay, so he accidentally slipped up and gave us one of the greatest pieces of evidence. Okay, so this is when Celeste was missing. We got the missing poster. The cops came and knocked on David's door. We now know that to be a fact. Okay, so you know there was basically reports that Celeste had run away at 2 a.m. right that day on Valentine's Day. I don't know actually if the timeline kind of adds up, but obviously we've got the kind of backstory here for, you know, everything that was said. And it said, Alonso said the teenager was seen in home cameras leaving the house sometime around 2 a.m. She also left a letter for her family, but they don't know what it said. Now, I'd like to see that letter, but there was more information here. So it said detectives learned... I'll just read you the whole thing. Pursuant to the investigation, LAPD robbery homicide detectives determined the victim and defendant met in January 2022 when she was 11 years old. They began an adult relationship in November 2023 when the victim was just 13 and the defendant was 18. Detectives learned the victim had been reported missing to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department by her family who live in Lake Elsinore. In February and April 2024, RCSD telephonically contacted the defendant on February 17th, so that's 2 days after that video that Xerx posted. Thanks, Xerx. After they identified a phone number in the victim's phone records that belonged to him. During the call, defendant claimed he had spoken to the victim last on February 13th or 14th, 2024, but stated he was unaware she was a minor or that she'd been reported missing. RCSD advised him that the LA Sheriff's Department deputies would be coming to his home. On that day, defendant was living at 804 North Doney Place in West Hollywood. The RCSD requested LASD conduct a welfare check at defendant's home. Deputies went to the home that night at 8:15 p.m., informing him that the victim was the 13-year-old runaway. Defendant again claimed he was unaware she was a minor, and he'd only met the victim once in person in November 2023. However, defendant showed deputies a yearbook photo of the victim he had on his cell phone. Although he claimed to be unaware of where the victim was at the time, she returned home 2 days later. Thanks for the evidence, Xerx. And despite being informed by law enforcement the victim was only 13, the defendant continued to pursue her. She returned home in February. The parents took her cell phone away, and then he drove to Lake Elsinore and paid a junior high school student in the victim's class $1,000 to give the victim a cell phone the defendant purchased so they could stay in contact. Throughout 2024, the victim spent a significant amount of time with the defendant, including summer weekends at his home in the Hollywood Hills and traveling with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas to meet his family. And it's around this time we're seeing Xerx once again. He's having direct conversations with David. He's posting this. He's bragging. He's loving the screenshots. Yes! David's in my DMs 3 minutes ago. It's embarrassing, really. Fanned out behavior. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Saying, bro did not watch High School Musical, I'm guessing is what he said. All right. So he's posting more behind the scenes photos. He's posted this one. He said, so many things I'm thinking about right now. Will Smith with David. What the hell? You will regret the day. So jump forward to February 2025, all right, and in the months that lead up to Celeste's death, that's when Xerx is spotted in a group chat with David's manager, Robert Morganroth. And again, this is just all connecting a big web of lies, okay? So it says, deleted user said, Rob is awesome. They said he is. And he showed that Rob had said, nice and early for you tonight, Xerx. And he posted the thumb out emoji. And he posted again, Rob saying to him in a group chat, go off, Xerx. Crown emoji. Is that David posting the crown emoji? Someone said, oh no, that's Rob. And Red Rookie says, you're an actual legend. And he added Sophia, said, I'm blushing. And then a deleted user said, OMG Slay. And then Xerx says, Rob saying, go off to me as top 3 bucket list items. So you can't say that this isn't the same person because he saved as, they're talking about nice and early for you line tonight, Xerx. And you got Lane Cooperstein in there too. Uh-oh. They all know what was going on in the Discord. It's bad. Okay. So Rob saying, go off to me as top 3 bucket list. Someone said, guys, how are we a quarter way through the year? And someone replied to Xerx saying, that's real, right? Then bucket list items. So he'd also be managing David's Twitch. He got a little side eye, little hint emoji. He's gassed that he's managing David's Twitch. He's all up in there. All right. You catch him on long phone calls. Right, so this is Sophia saying, David forgot to stream and then tagging Xerx. Xerx says, I know, he's texting me right now. Big dog, this David. So people are saying, F you. He's replying, I'm off call now. David started a call that lasted 25 minutes. So I'm guessing he's literally so fanned out that he's screenshotting this little tab that he was on a call with David for 3 hours. So we done. I'm listening to them sing Raw. So people are saying about the Yay album coming out, saying David dropped a snippet. Tell him hi, please. He said he's listening to them sing. So here they are also playing Fortnite together the month before Celeste was murdered. So this is in March 2025, and we're seeing Xerx here showing that he's playing games with David's YouTube account. What are we doing here, people? People saying David got you. And he's getting smoked. He's getting smoked by David. All right. So Xerx would keep in touch with David. He was one of the few people that could actually even reach David around the time of the alleged murder and dismemberment. So he was getting replies from David, unlike the rest of the world, right? So he said, David said he'd get active if you guys stream it 1,000 times. And he replied, you heard it here first, I don't lie. And then he shows a screenshot of a message from David. What the fuck? What's the date? No. David said at 5:16 p.m. on April the 29th, 2025, 6 days after the murder of Celeste, I'll be back. Remember, if we get top 10, then we can decay. What? And so he added a deleted user. They popped up and said, yo. And they said, you can send to Kylie. So I'm guessing that was Kylie. So let's assume this is Kylie. All right. Basically, they reply to a David leak. It says David Nomad unreleased. That Xerx posted a link to an unreleased song. And I'm guessing this is Kylie who replies, oh yeah, absolutely not. Sorry, Rob. And then they said, LMO, exactly. And this is apparently David saying, bet, tell him I hate all these songs. And then Laura Lee says, someone says, what are you going to do for 10 hours? They said, good question. Too much Discord time and way too much music and potentially more Netflix. Someone said, wow, in response to the attachment. They're loving the music. Convince Dave to drop, please, man. So they're atting Xerx because he's the one who is in touch with David and can convince him to drop. Meanwhile, there's a body decaying in his allegedly there's a body decaying in his property or his car or whatever at this point. Crazy. So Xerx still getting replies when David's gone dark to go and cover up an alleged murder. It's dark, man. So he continues playing an integral role, right? Even being the top clipper amongst the entire David community. So he posted, oh, top clipper, currently the #1 all-time clipper on David's channel. Wow. Okay. People saying we both #1 for stuff, right? Replying to a deleted user could be Kylie. So he keeps interacting with David in a social circle. Neo the Asian followed him. He posted a screenshot of that. He's gassed. Imagine being found out over Neo following you, bro. That's embarrassing. But anyway, all right. People saying he is a superhero. All right. He at emoji. He's gassed. He's gassed. Okay. So he posted, who else on this? This is David's close friends. He flexing. He big flex. Yo, I'm on David's close friends. Who else on David's close friends? You're not in there? Nah, not like me. Not like me. People saying David hates Lee. Not me. People ain't in there. Right. Post again. He said, we loading up. Wait, he's posting that he's in a call with David. Gas. Fanned out behavior. Fan the fuck out. Right. And then they be going on. People saying, I love David. Woo, so happy we're loading up. Oh, ask if I can hop on a song with him. Everyone's fanned the fuck out with David. All right. Everybody's fanned out. So I showed you all of that to basically make the point to you guys that Xerx was deeply entrenched in David's circle. All right. And there would be more interesting things that would go around because Xerx has been maintaining a presence on Reddit and he denied knowing Celeste personally despite the claims in Discord to deny everything, deny knowing about the tattoo, act oblivious. And what's really crazy is 8 months ago, people realized on September the 20th, just after the body was identified, Celeste and David had a Spotify playlist where they were collabers. The official David page collaborating with Celeste, who owns the project, left evidence in every nook and cranny. And Xerx is following too. You want to talk about, oh, I didn't know Celeste. Xerx is following too. All right. The Celeste account is also followed by Xerx, David's Discord admin. This is cooked. This is 8 months ago. So Xerx would reply to this, right? He would say, yeah, that's me. And if you're one of those people that post this stuff online, make sure to add the detail that I never knew anything about Celeste other than the fact that she was his girlfriend. Confirmed. So he's low-key snitched on David. I like it. I actually like it. Snitch away. I followed her public Spotify when I saw her and David created a shared public Spotify playlist, which I believe was created sometime during 2023, but that's now deleted. Never mind, the playlist is still up. So people will reply, say, listen, bruh, the feds are likely coming after your ass sooner or later. You might as well snitch on David and get nothing on your record and live a happy, free man. I'm just saying, all right? If I saw Xerx's name, I immediately knew it was real. W post, whoa. Zoom in on her PFP and she has the bracelets, all right? Hey, listen, man, what even is this link? Is this showing you Xerx deleted posts? I need to look into this, all right? So he's still responding to things days ago. That's actually crazy. So apparently he's replying saying, hell yeah, I'm not active on social media anymore. Check in for updates. My account was mentioned. I clicked on it to see what was going on. Good old friend, dude. I don't know who you are. Genuinely. You haven't seen my prior post. If she died because someone killed her, I want justice served for her. I do truly not know. I feel like there's a reason I should explain myself because I want to try and clear myself from all these rumors. The point you bring up is a fair one, but you are wrong. Also, if I was guilty or had any part to do with this, I would not be talking in here. It would be really stupid, right? Why I might seem so defensive because it's so annoying seeing all these lies, misinformation, and just stuff with zero context about me. I'm just trying to clear my name and get out of this. People says, yes, you can. I'm sure. It's not interesting. There are over 1,000 different Celeste. I didn't know her last name. The better question would be, why didn't the guy report it to the cops or something? Right? So he's basically getting at everybody. Once again, what am I lying about? I only knew Rob and Red Rookie. Not sure who Kelly is or Fan Hotline, besides them being Team David role. Again, not sure why this would be or why. I do not know way more than I'm letting on. Okay? So he's trying to defend himself. He's saying he's not a liar. People not feeling him. He says, I hate having to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. I didn't know her personally or her age at the time. During 23 and 24, I didn't have any contact with David or his team. I would only do mod actions in the Discord. The tattoo part I've already explained, so go do some research. Check what I said in prior posts about it. Saying that I knew Celeste just because I was in the server is crazy too. Like most active people in the server, I knew about David having a girlfriend named Celeste. Not sure if Yewoohoo7 was Celeste too. That was it. I didn't know any personal private information about Yewoohoo7, Celeste, Rivas Hernandez, or the delete user account prior to the news coming out. Also, that deleted user talking about the song is not Kylie. There's been other photos of the same screenshot posted. You can see the name is different. I'm not the one lying here. You are. You are. All right. So I'm not defending Asia. I know zero about her involvement or closeness with Celeste, so I can't comment on anything like that. I'm not sure. She could have done or known whatever, but again, I'm not her, so I don't know. I was just in Asia's stream because I wanted to see what's up. That is it. Okay. So he's out here defending himself, right? He's out here defending himself. So I'm going to show you here. This is apparently Xerx deleting messages in the Discord and basically explaining his own Discord messages with Celeste and the Yewoohoo7 account. Okay, so again, this is him defending himself deeply, all right? So this basically is Xerx Discord mod involvement, and this is going to show you him deleting a whole bunch of messages in the general chat. And then it says, is that not basically what it said? He said, I removed and fixed shit. I took out the majority of the staff, took out the majority of the staff team has left the server and we no longer associate with David. We do not support his actions in any capacity. Why would that be removed? We don't want people thinking we're on this dude's side. Yeah. He said, we already stated our point and that we weren't aware. Other stuff I said wasn't needed. It's needed. Like, who cares that some left? He says, everyone, Xerx has connections with David. Bro, Xerx. Wait, Xerx, are you at all the tours? Wait, Xerx, are you the photographer guy? People saying, where you get this from? He says he has all the footage. He says he blurred something. I'm joking. From every show. He's got the footage from every show. Someone said, me and David said good night, guys. Bye. And straight to my every David song playlist. Love you too. Can he check DMs when he gets a chance? And Xerx says, good night, Yewoohoo7. Allegedly Celeste's other account. Someone saying, do you talk to David? Skylar says, not really, but I have. Someone says, does anyone? Is David saying I have his number? I don't text him at all. And Skylar said, Xerx talks to David. It's Xerx. I'm pretty sure Xerx edits those reels, so blame him for not cutting them out. Says Xerx is Rob, right? Ooh, people saying Xerx is Rob. I didn't ever hear that theory. I don't think that's him because he talking about himself in the third person too much to even believe that. This says, now this isn't an accusation or harassment I want to send to anybody because you might not know anything at all. Just interesting based off another post, but I've seen another post showing him deleted messages. I've gathered an idea of the server through logs and found that he was one of the head mods and Twitch mods. He was directly involved with David and had communication, or was his photographer on tour. This was known and shown in screenshots above I have from an anonymous source. That when the mods gave the message the other day, he wanted them to take out the part that they're not directly involved with David. Which doesn't make any sense to me. Why would he want to be after this? Maybe he was receiving pay. Now, he may not have known the full truth about this dark situation, but just weird and suspicious. I even have a log of him replying to Celeste with her Discord which was random, because how did he know this was his GF? Or maybe he did but didn't know her age. So he replies. Xerx says, hey, I appreciate this isn't an accusation or harassment. I'll answer some things because this stuff is getting taken too far, and I've stated these things repeatedly. Yes, I was a head mod and Twitch mod. I was in communication with them and it was public knowledge. In the second photo, I mentioned that because the actual server is still associated with David. Not all of the members in general attach file. Regarding my reply to YayWoohoo7, if you followed David, you would know and see that name. She posted photos of them. I recall a couple photos and 2 voice messages of them talking to us in the server. Plus in that 4th photo, you can see her say me and David. I did know that that was his girlfriend, but I didn't know of her age. I also want to add, people, please stop harassing my mod friends, leaking people's names, phone numbers, and addresses, and calling parents. It's not cool at all, especially when they had zero info about her age too. It affects you a lot when you did absolutely nothing wrong and have so many threats. A whole community on Twitter and Reddit harassing you over nothing, okay? And he posted this. It says it was needed. We don't support David and we left because of it. Someone said the server is associated with David. Xerx says that. And someone says, okay, well, we don't associate with him, right? So they're saying, yeah, that's his argument, all right? You see all of his mods and his VIPs on Twitch there. So Xerx apparently also served as a mod for Asia Collins, all right? And here's him replying and a big sort of post about her. So it says, we see you, David, Asia, and co. So this is a GIF. It's showing Xerxify tapped in. It says, David, the guy she made love you with, and his 14-year-old girlfriend Celeste was found dead in his car. The editor was exposed a while ago for covering and erasing online evidence. Oh, this is difficult to deal with a GIF. So we're seeing Asia there. We're seeing Neo there. Don't know if I can rewind this gift. Xerxify says, me, using David's relationship with Clout. Hannah Bang hired David. This is moving way too quick. All right. This is moving way too quick. Shocked that Hannah hired him for the tour, given she owns the record label. So it's saying he was hired for the tour. He ended up coming on the tour. He was out there with them. Tour Bus Chronicles Chapter 1. So he might have taken that clip where we see Asia on the bus, Neo on the bus, people eating. Xerx might have been the guy there taking the clip. People says, who is Xerx? Me. Right? People have been asking about who Xerx is and what's going on with that. So I just want to see this first one again. Oops-a-daisy. That was definitely a mistake. Whoops. Hang on. Okay, look, I've kind of managed to screenshot a few of these. It's nothing super extra interesting, but this is kind of Asia keep trolling. I have an alter ego. This is some details. They're saying she's obsessed with American Psycho. David posted about American Psycho. She posted she loves Christian Bale from American Psycho. She's wearing that shirt. And it seems like maybe it's a little bit of a dog whistle of, you know, David kind of also potentially being a murderer like the character from American Psycho, and, you know, her baby low-key supporting him. So this whole group is a little bit sus. It says, just whispering some sweet little nothings at you. People are watching your actions. David, Asia, and the rest of you involved. We see you. Also an answer to those out there asking, why are people hating on Asia? That's all. So someone replied and they dissed Xerx. All right. So they said, Xerx, you're a straight effing loser. Talk to the cops. Don't dick ride Asia on Twitch. Asia, I thought you were a model, but why the hell are you using dial-up internet from 2006? These people actively participated in the attempted cover-up of the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and this sub has proof inside of it. We have photographic evidence that Xerx deleted hundreds of messages within the server, photographic evidence of Xerx trying to obstruct justice by telling someone to deny the tattoo and act clueless 3 days before Celeste is publicly identified, and photographic evidence of Xerx absolutely glorifying Robert, thinking Rob will save him, LMFAO. And Asia, we have photographic evidence of her acknowledging Celeste's missing persons poster, being told she is 13 and being photographed at the same event months later. We have your pathetic statements that you've made denying knowing Celeste. Both of you are obstructing justice and attempting some weird cover-up, because what? You think David will still have a career after this and he's going to have you two losers dick riding him? Yeah, right. Career over. The audacity these people have on National Quit Lying Day, at that, January the 16th, to go live on Twitch and review the album Don't Be Dumb. I mean, I don't have words. Not to mention Asia using David for clickbait in her live notification. Their time is coming. Everyone is watching what they do. They think they're so slick and cute and funny. Justice will be coming and everyone involved will be facing the consequences of their part. Allegedly. And Xerx claps back. He said, why should I call the cops? I have zero inside info, nor any info that would benefit them as I'm not involved in this situation. I just helped out and did work for him. Maybe actually check my page and read the context I've already provided before you comment on me too. Also, I don't believe I've deleted hundreds of messages in the entire time I've been a mod on the server. You can assume what you want, but stop spreading misinfo and get your facts straight if you're going to bring me up at least. Believe me, I'm just as confused and lost as everyone else about this situation. Okay, so he's all up in there defending himself, all right? So Xerx would seemingly defend David kind of behaving erratically on stream in another post that went around, all right? This is basically a clip that was going around. They said this is David's Twitch. It says, has anyone thoroughly looked into his Twitch? The first clip I see is dude clearly high on something. He has the crazy eyes, I like to call it, common with certain types of drugs, and his mannerisms are clearly making his friends uncomfortable. Was this normal behavior from his lives? No, right? Overall, not super significant, but we think we got to look more into his Twitch clips. Let's see it.
Y'all don't understand, JB. Like, bro, listen.
I don't think that song was my vibe.
Listen. When Justin Bieber followed me, bro, I pissed myself. I pissed my pants. I'm so serious. You guys don't like JB like I like JB, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Okay.
All right. So I could believe he's high because of the way his eyes look, but I could believe that he's doing a bit, to be honest with you. So Xerx says this is definitely him clip farming. He always wears different types of contacts. That probably explains the crazy eyes. I could be wrong, though. And then he goes through posts, basically screenshot. Here's many different logs of people talking about his contacts if no one believes me. Someone said, why the F would he go blonde? Who told him that that looked good? Also, I bet his contacts are so crusty. Said, who courage this bitch ass to bleach his hair and wear green contact lenses? Says, tell him his eyes are ugly with the contacts. I only stayed in contact with one or two of mine. The other has friends, so we did a crossover episode. The contacts aren't bad. Yeah. You get the gist, right? Xerx up in there and not feeling him there. So in the lead up to David's arrest, Xerx would actually claim that he was hacked. Ew, yeah, oh, he got hacked, all right? So he would post, all right, just 2 months before the arrest, around the time that Celeste was missing 2 years before. And Xerx posted, my account, this is hacked. Don't know how long I will still have access to it, but if anyone can help me reach out to my DMs or Discord, Xerxify. Sorry for the scam message, Xerx. So it says Xerx claimed his Insta was hacked on February the 8th, 2026. This is now at least the second time he said it's happened. What makes this hard to ignore is that he's worked professionally with artists like David or Hannah Bang and calls himself the Discord GOAT. Someone in that position should have serious account security. The timing is also interesting considering David's father, mother, and brother filed an emergency motion for writ of habeas corpus on February the 9th, 2026. This raises real questions. What kind of security is actually on his accounts? If you were hacked, what access did that person have to your DMs? What if private messages were leaked? What if unreleased songs or content from artists you worked with were exposed? How does simply saying, I was hacked, protect artists whose material you had access to? This raises serious questions about how things are being handled. If you're working with multiple artists getting hacked more than once, that's a problem, so explain it. Xerx, we're going to need you to explain it, right? People saying, yeah, they lost their phones, they were hacked, they were thinking they were smart and that she wasn't ever going to be found. They were sloppy because they thought David was a genius and knew how to cover the tracks. Maybe David learned something from Dad's data specialist knowledge and thought he was slick, but Xerx is deep in covering up and knowing of her age and the criminal acts David was doing to her. Him warning them, saying anything about the tattoo is as telling as it wasn't even known about yet. Bingo! There's so much more about Xerx too, like he's bragging on the Discord about texting with David on January the 4th, 25. Just days after Celeste was last seen alive, discussing certain songs, which makes me wonder about something. I don't know, Xerx, you're a weird dude. Hope you don't use the same password everywhere. They're saying Xerx likes to pop in every now and then, okay? Maybe we should pop in back on Xerx, all right? I'm just going to, let's just have a little scroll, all right? He's got minus 60 comment karma, so he can't catch a break with the karma on Reddit right now, okay? They hating him. Can't pop out without getting nothing but hate, right? They hating him. So let's see, can we see his top comments? Let's see his top comments, man. All-time top comments, right? He's only got 8 upvotes. He's an absolute army of downvotes on a lot of his shit. But his top comment, okay, it says, case file, Team David, roll in David's closet, Discord server shared by Celeste and 3 other users, including Robert Morganroth, right? I think I already showed you this one, actually, in a previous, in that previous section. So it says, you haven't seen my prior post. If she died because someone killed her, I want justice for her. I truly do not know. I feel like there's a reason I should explain myself because I want to try and clear myself up from the rumors. The point you bring up is a fair one, but you're wrong. Also, if I was guilty or had part to do with this, I would not be in here talking. It would be really stupid. It says, as someone who was in that Discord under the impression and assumed Celeste was Yewoohoo7 with different people, I don't think it was confirmed or a clear connection. It could be wrong. People saying, I don't know much personally about Asian or his socials. You may be able to dig up and find some stuff in the Discord. So he's sort of arguing with people, talking about the clip farming. It says, I do talk. What else am I supposed to do? The David K dude also keeps posting info with zero context. I'm not signed under an NDA, so your claim's 100% wrong. As I stated, I came to the comments to say my account was hacked and that I was not the one posting the crypto stuff. Depending on how the investigation goes, I was most likely going to make a whole post or tweet explaining all the out-of-context claims against me. I would do it now, but I don't want to be involved in the drama and media attention further. Believe me, nothing I would say would benefit your guys' investigation or any official investigation. I give a shit about clearing my name. If you want me to F off, I will F off. There's so much misinformation and many out of context claims. It's crazy. Okay. People saying, thanks for seeing it as a legit explanation. The thing he's referring to is the deleting of images of a person and had zero relevance to the case. If it was evidence, cops could obtain a legal warrant anyway. Okay. So he's saying he didn't know her age, right? Saying that I knew Celeste is crazy. I think we saw that one already. She's talking about giving Asia giving him mod. I don't see why anything's funny. I didn't do anything related to the case. I didn't meet her or talk to her besides one message in a Discord DM, which I've shown, followed by another message saying something along the lines of, hello, Yewoohoo7, if that's actually Celeste. And I didn't know anything about the underage relationship or the killing until news posted about it. Everything I knew previously was public info, right? Not a clue. What's he done recently? 5 days ago is the most recent, and that was the update that we saw earlier. So yeah, he's crashing out. He's trying to defend himself. This is 4 months ago. But that's basically the Xerx situation, okay? And then you got kind of a few more interesting images that were posted on this Notion page, okay? Is there more? How many more? Ooh. This might just be all posts, not just Xerx. Wait, what's that one? I ain't seen this one. What? Asia posting in a photo shoot with blood on the ground for Instagram. Okay, I guess this is just like all the files that they have. Not necessarily just Xerx related things, otherwise I would dig through them. But this is a big amalgamation of things. So anyway, look, that was my little deep dive into Xerx. All right, I still feel like the people of David's Discord have a lot to answer for. A lot of suspicious things, a lot of unanswered questions. What the hell was going on? I want to know. Okay, so look, I'll be back tomorrow with some new updates. Don't know if we're going to get any significant new information or updates on the David case, but if I find any good new evidence or information, I'll keep you guys posted. But as you can tell, all right, everybody been talking about, Ross, are you milking the David case too much? Too many David updates. I've been really trying to pick up different interesting stories for you guys over the last few days. I did a video about the hantavirus, did a video about Kendrick and Drake, Iran, Spotify, Bentech. I'm giving you guys a whole bunch of things. So I just want to make it very clear that I do talk about all different kinds of things. Yes, I've made tons of videos about the David case because it's been a massive story non-stop for months. All right. And there's times when that story has picked up and been a really big thing. I had a lot of updates on. There's times when I've stopped talking about it. Not stopped talking about it, but I haven't done an update on it every single day because there's not necessarily an update every single day. Every day I'm digging, I'm finding new stuff, and you get a video. You might get 3 videos. Okay. But it is what it is. And also, I do feel like I do have to address, there's been a lot of hate against me on Reddit and the David subreddits. And look, I've got thick skin. I've been doing this for 10 years. All right. People just discovering me now through this case. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've had plenty of hate. All right. I was on the complex list, had other big people I look up to hating on me. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even say nothing to you. But a lot of people are hating and spreading false information about me at the moment. I just want to address it. Okay. People have been posting on Reddit that I made a joke about Celeste. I didn't make a joke about Celeste. I didn't joke. I didn't laugh. I didn't make a joke. It was basically pattern recognition of this word kept coming up, and it made me think about something that, nah, all right? So I just wanted to add that at the end of this video, okay? A lot of people hating on me. I'm used to it. It's cool. Everyone can keep on hating on me. But, like, the false narrative that, like, I'm over here giggling about this case, go watch all my videos. You ain't seeing that, all right? You ain't seeing that. You're not seeing me make light of this situation. I've taken this very, very seriously from the start. I didn't make a joke. I said, I'm not even going to make that joke, all right? Perhaps I shouldn't have noticed that this word came up a bunch of times, and perhaps I shouldn't have even signaled that the words that I was seeing on the page could be rearranged. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But I've never made light of this case. It's very, very serious. I want to see justice for Celeste. I think this is an absolute awful crime. I think anybody that does these kinds of crimes against children needs to be punished, needs to be taken out of society. Any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even going to say, I'm not going to call for violence in this video, but the shit that David's being accused of, get out society, basically. However we do that, I'm cool. However we do that, I'm cool with. Let's get rid of those people. Let's just get them out of society. Let's just move them away. Get them the hell out of here. Get them the hell out of our way, away from our children. Nothing funny about that. Okay, so anyone wants to hate on me for doing too many David videos, that's cool. All right. I wasn't hearing you guys hating on too many Epstein videos. Maybe some people were hating on too many Epstein videos, but when that was going on, he's already dead. He's already dead. But I wanted to keep that information circulating. I wanted to let everybody know these Epstein files, let's not forget about these. All those videos are still there. You can go back and watch them. And the last thing that I want to say, that I just want to defend myself, because all this, I do see this stuff and I have been debating, should I do a reaction? But also, I don't think people are interested in a full video on that. But what I will say, okay, that I did think was interesting, a lot of people have been hating on me for... All right, that was it. I'd actually forgotten what people were hating on me so much. I had to go and dig up the old hate post about me. But people have been hating on me for doing members-only videos. Like, I'm keeping the information behind a paywall. Just to give you a little bit of context, all right? Like, if I upload a video and YouTube, like, flags it for violent content, I'll just take it down. I'll edit it. I'll censor some stuff. I'll throw it to my editor. We'll remove stuff just so that it's safe for YouTube, so that I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm not going to get, you know, a strike. I've had takedowns before for very unusual things, like, you know, me reacting to an interview of somebody else and somebody else says like a bad word. And I've had full-blown strikes and takedowns numerous times for that. Or I'm reacting to an interview with a rapper and he just talking and he dropping the N-word a few times. And I've had hate speech for that. Okay, so I just am extra careful. So what I decided to do was, okay, well, if you want to see the stuff that is, you know, like, I can't actually share it on YouTube right now, I just put it up members only whilst I do my editing, while I do my censoring, okay? Because I know that I'm not going to get any problems doing that, because it's not a public-facing section of the website. So I just throw it up there. I'm like, look, if you want to be a member, if you supported the channel, you can check it out today while we're censoring it and editing it so that I don't get a public video taken down. That's how it works, right? If I'm putting a video out there to the public and it just so happens someone says the N-word a couple too many times, I might actually get a strike. And I have had a strike for hate speech. And I've actually had 2 of those in a row, and you're banned from uploading for a week, okay? So this is my job. I love what I do. I love broadcasting. I love getting to the truth and finding stuff out for you guys. So that's really what that's about, okay? I had a couple of videos back when I used to cover a lot of rappers. 2 videos on Lil Zay Osama. I got taken down for hate speech for little things that he said in IG lives that I was reacting to. And there was a time I couldn't post for a week. That's what it's about. That's all I'm doing, okay? So if it's offensive that I'm using the membership function to have a private area where I can show people stuff that, you know, I'm just censoring, I'm just working on, just need an extra day to work on it. You know, I'm sorry if that's bad optics, but that's not really what I went for, okay? But look, they said in the comments that I wouldn't show this, all right? This is the big hate post on me, okay? They're saying in the comments, Trap Lord, he's not going to show this, but I ain't a bitch, all right? I'm going to show you this. I see the criticism, I see the critiques, I see the comments. Some people say some supportive things, some people say some very negative things, okay? But I just feel like it was notable, right? It's like, oh, all these David updates, you crossed out the other topics. Like, you can't do this as proof, right? I'm going to take a screenshot of his channel to prove that all he talks about is David. But it was inconvenient for you, right? That in the last few days, I've done videos and it's a lot of David content because there's been a lot of updates. There's been huge updates. These were massive updates. I had so much info, but I still talked about the UFO experts. Oh, but that's inconvenient. You got to cross that out. I bet you won't talk about the like 5-6 videos I've done in the last like 48 hours on different topics. That's inconvenient to the Trap Law hate narrative, okay? So look, all right, I read the post, I read the comments, all right, I've taken some of it. I'll take some of it on board. I'll take some of the fair criticism, but never laughed about Celeste. Cap, okay? I'm not secretly hiding evidence behind a paywall. I'm just using the membership function so that I can let, realistically, like 50 or 6, like probably like between 50 and 80 members, okay? A small group of people that have decided to support the channel, and I haven't really got any exclusive content. I put out everything I can. That's just a place for them, all right? And I had Epstein videos that were members only for a day before I uploaded them. If you check carefully, I did upload those videos. So, yeah, just want to respond to that at the end of this video, and also just say, absolutely will not be stopping making videos about David. Like, absolutely not. Like, we're going to get to the bottom of this case. I'll be reporting on this. I'll be at the courthouse reporting on this until the day they find him guilty. Potentially, perhaps, allegedly, okay? I'll be there till the very end. I'm going to see this through. So everyone else talking their shit about me, all right, I bet you won't be here till the very end of this case, reporting and making sure justice is done. That's it. I'm out.